Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. This article comes to you guys from investing.com. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So, in today's video, I wanted to emphasize T Mobile's network and growth focus. That's really a focus of the company, starting with the network. They really want to once and for all really close that network perception gap and really build and really close the gap to Verizon and AT&T. Like, this is a once and for all journey, if you will, for T-Mobile, and they really want to do this, right? They really want to put the grind, the builds in the ground, and actually build out this network from a technology perspective, performance perspective, reach, square miles, right? And I know all of that is not there today, right? There's still going to be some of you that say T-Mobile doesn't work here, doesn't work there, but they really want to do this, right? I've seen some internal stuff. I've seen the POR tool. They really, really, really want to build this network out. They told us publicly they want to do 4,000 sites this year, and that doesn't include the US Cellular footprint. So that's really a core focus of the business, because that network that they're putting in the ground and building is going to unlock every single growth focus that the company has today. It's really that simple. The network unlocks everything else that follows. So let's take a look at it here. This is what the COO presented, and those are some of his core focuses. Gopalan is his name. And he did acknowledge challenges in market perception and the need for continued innovation, right? So they are acknowledging this. They know what the core issue is. Now they have to bring that to light, focus on it, and fix and change and advance, right? So here are some of the key takeaways. T-Mobile is focused on bridging the gap between network reality and market perception, aiming to provide best network and value. So they're already on well on their way of doing this. There's a huge marketing budget behind this. You guys will see more of this later in the year going into 2026. The best network, you guys will not hear the end of it. Trust me on it. The company is expanding its presence in the broadband market through fixed wireless, FWA, and fiber broadband. So the FWA piece has been around. That will, I don't even want to say that will accelerate, but that will stick around, and that will continue to broaden as they continue. The network focus will unlock all of that, as I mentioned, right? So the fiber broadband piece is a little different, right? That's a separate, different grind that T-Mobile will have to figure out. They're going to have to continue to buy smaller players. They're going to have to continue to lease back fiber, right, to continue to expand their market presence. How big they ultimately want to go on that, it remains to be seen. That's unknown to us. All we know today is they closed Lumos, they closed Metronet, and that's really all we know, right? We don't know what other deals they're working on, what they're doing behind the scenes, who they're partnering with, who they're talking to. That is an unknown. But what we do know, they want to grow, but we just don't know what the ultimate goal of that looks like or what that looks like. So T-Mobile is integrating US Cellular spectrum to enhance network capabilities and accelerate synergy realization, right? They told us that they're accelerating that. Remember, as I said, under promise, over deliver. That has been T-Mobile has been doing that for years, and they're not changing, and they're going to realize more synergies even sooner. And the network capabilities, like I said, the network unlocks everything. So this US Cellular integration is going to be very, very, very fast. T-Mobile learned so much from the Sprint integration that this US Cellular integration is going to be a breeze compared to what they had to deal with the Sprint integration. The company maintains a strong focus on digital customer engagement through platforms like T-Life. So I told you guys a few videos back, T-Live is getting ready to enter a beta using real-time API, using the OpenAI platform, and you're going to have an AI assistant in your pocket. You pull it up, open T Life, and there's going to be Ask AI. You click it and you can ask it anything. Hey, does my plan include T Life? T Satellite. It will be able to answer it right away. Can you take me shopping? Can you show me the cheapest phone right now for a grandchild? That platform is going to have everything available, right? It's going to be choppy at first, right? It's a beta, but say 6 months in, it's going to get better and better and better and better. So if you're a T-Mobile employee, again, this is just a sincere PSA. Look for work elsewhere, right? Just start looking here and there, because they're going to shrink they're going to shrink down to the employees, right? That's going to be a thing. Like, when you have that type of platform and the sizable investment that T-Mobile made into that platform, that's just what it's going to lead to, right? And I know there's going to be some that are going to say, hey, you're jumping the gun. Wait a minute. Hold up. Just read the room, right? Just read the room. They want 75% less calls into care using digital platforms. Once that happens, there's no way T-Mobile's going to pay all those people to just sit around and look at a phone waiting for calls to come in. They're going to downsize. They're going to severely downsize on that platform, right? It's going to go in beta first. Then it'll take a while to get it perfected and get it right, get it to prime time, as some call it, and then it's a wrap. Then it's going to be all over the news. Hey, T-Mobile is downsizing. That's just how it's going to go. So T-Mobile sees significant growth opportunities in the enterprise space and government sectors, right? And I'll just add, as I said at the beginning of the video, the network focus unlocks all growth opportunities in enterprise and government sectors, and we'll leave it at that. Yes, you have to have a sales strategy, and T-Mobile's sales strategy is effective, and that helps, right? But again, at the end of the day, the network will unlock all of this, and T-Mobile is very, very focused on that. So for the postpaid phone net adds, maintain guidance despite challenges in subscriber retention, right? So there is some churn there that T-Mobile's trying to figure out. But again, as I mentioned, they have so much volume coming in that the growth just offsets the losses. So free cash flow, the industry experienced a 50% growth since 2022. U.S. Cellular synergies increased expected synergies from $1 billion to $1.2 billion with a reduced time frame of 2 years, right? They anticipated initially it taking at the top 4 years to integrate. No way it's going to take that long. No way. When I heard that from the beginning, when they first announced it, I was like, no way it's going to take that long. There's no way. Not after them doing the Sprint integration and having that experience and learn from that. No way. Now, if they hadn't done the Sprint one, then of course I would have said, yeah, maybe it'll take 3 to 4 years, but there's just no way. So capital allocation, I'm comfortable with a leverage ratio of 2.5. So I don't see CapEx going up too much. Maybe we see a boost maybe to 10.5 billion because of US Cellular. And that's a big maybe as we go into 2026. But I just don't see that going up too much. T-Mobile is too disciplined to really act out of character. And then the revenue per account RPA focus on growth, account growth with RPA driven by rate card enhancements and plan optimizations. So people keep buying up the rate card according to T-Mobile. They keep choosing the most expensive plan at a rate double than just a quarter ago, and 4 times higher, I believe, if I remember correctly, from a year ago when they had to go 5G next. So that's impressive, right? T-Mobile is doing something right there. And then on the fiber ads, right, T-Mobile is saying second half of the year with the closing of the Lumos and Metronet, they're going to grow fiber ads to 100,000 net ads in the second half of the year. That's big. That's a big one because that adds to your revenue, right? To be right away going into the 100,000s in the second half of the year. So that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we go through 26 and 27. So some of the operational updates, just briefly going over that. So network leadership, T-Mobile claims to have the best network in the U.S., supported by extensive tower infrastructure and a 5G standalone core network. Again, the standalone, that's a small window. You guys heard me talk about that. The best network, that's going to be everywhere. They're not going to stop that. That's going to be everywhere. There's a huge, huge budget for it. Digital Progress T-Life has now been downloaded by 75 million customers. Again, T-Mobile is not giving anyone a chance. You have to have it just about if you're a T-Mobile customer, indicating strong digital engagement. Again, if you go into a T-Mobile store, the reps make you download it. If you call in, they make you download it. You have to have it. So eventually it will be over 100 million by default because you have to have that app. There is no other app to go to. So the U.S. Cellular integration, they acquired 47 megahertz of spectrum and additional towers to enhance network quality. Again, the focus. The focus always goes back to the network because that will unlock every single growth sector that you want to go into. Fixed wireless access serving 7.3 million customers with improved data speeds. Customer experience, aiming to reduce inbound customer care calls by 75% through AI and digital improvements. Again, just a PSA for T-Mobile employees. Start looking, start getting your resumes ready. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just telling you guys, if there's a 75% reduction of calls to customer care, they're not going to let all the customers sit around in call centers waiting for calls. It ain't going to happen. So again, FWA, just briefly. So what he did say during the conference, he says the data usage on a monthly basis on average continues to go up for FWA customers. They now use roughly about 560 gigs a month on average. But he says even though that continues to go up, speeds have doubled since the launch of FWA. So the speeds continue to go up, FWA usage continues to go up. He's pretty much alluding that the T-Mobile network can handle it, right? So again, right, it's not hard to figure out. T-Mobile will continue to grow, but the network has to be a main focus. That's going to unlock every single thing that they want to accomplish is all unlocked by the network. And it's just a huge vocal point for the company because best network, trying to bring perception more and more on their side, and I think they're very close. T-Mobile is very good at this, right? It's not going to take much longer where they say we now have cracked the perception. We now have a better perception of network versus Verizon. I don't think that's going to take much longer. They updated us on that not too long ago, and they were already very close. So it's not going to take much longer for them to pass Verizon on network perception. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about these core focuses for the company, some key takeaways. Again, best network is going to stick. It's going to be everywhere. I saw it at the football game last night, the Cowboys versus the Eagles. They had business, FWA, best network, super mobile, everywhere. So they're going to go big on that, and it will stick, right? That's just something that T-Mobile is good at. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.